I was born and raised in Hawaii. The word there means hello, goodbye, and love, which is something that you guys hopefully have for us, and we definitely have for you guys. Whereas aloha. So we like to kick off all of our panels with a good hello, aloha. We'll do another aloha at the end to say goodbye, and impart all the love and the feeling into it. Now, on the count of 3, we're going to do a deep, hearty aloha. Get the blood pumping, let everybody outside know that they should be in here. So, Paul, hopefully we can count to 3. Okay, good. So, you take it away. All right, 1, 2, 3. Aloha! One more time, louder. Get good. 1, 2, 3. Aloha! Yeah! I know it's so loud, there's shut the door. That was nice and good. You want to stand up or are you going to squat? So there will be no slideshow, since we are in the room without slides, without a screen and everything. So let's just kick things off and talk a little bit about our books and what's been going on this year with their 10 for 10. On the end, we have Best of Color, colorist Scott Gavin, and Vince Hernandez, our editor-in-chief, and writer of the Karen Bandit, Chris Water, executive assistant assassins, and many, many other things. Kiani. Mark Roslin. As well as Broken Create Bubblegum, which is one of our 10 for 10 titles, and Broken Pieces before that. David Wohl. Who is the writer of Fathom. And the co-creator, Legend of Shadowman, and co-creator of Iris. JT Kroll. Who's an LA Kings fan. Just happy to talk to you. Started up soon.
Or actually started up a long time ago.
Or started up a long time ago. I think they started with yesterday. Really?
These guys love sports except for hockey, so I'm like the only hockey.
We like sports.
And they talk about their.
And that's why hockey's not on the list.
We should do a fantasy like con.
Just let me know if that is.
You should do a fantasy hockey league with JT. Are they gonna have that?
Yes.
Dude, they have a fantasy everything. Dodgeball.
Fantasy dodgeball?
I gotta kill a guy in fantasy guys.
JT Kroll writes Soulfire and is the writer and creator of Journey. I am Peter Steinwald, co-owner of Aspen Comics. Frank Massimaro is a copier co-owner, and he is the writer of Skies. He is co-creator and writer of Shrug Volume 2, which is up part of our 10 for 10 as well. And also, what did I say, Awaken Skies? Overtaking, excuse me. Awaken Skies is the other one. My bad. And co-plotter of Fathom and Soulfire. So, you want to talk about stuff a little bit, or what do you want to do? Oh, you have no slides. 10 for 10 improv. All right. Mark and Vince, you guys are the first 2 guys up for improv. I'm going to need a location and a prop. We'll act it out.
A banana and.
Banana? We have a banana and a location.
Bathhouse.
I don't like
Vince has a banana at the bathhouse, and Mark would like to get it.
It's kind of like Halloween and Bobby for Apple, but way.
All right, we have Halloween and Bobby for apples. Vince has apples, and Mark likes Bob for that.
We have no slides. Can you just turn the computer around? Yeah.
Beth will sing a song.
Just walk around.
Everybody's so bad.
How many of you guys got my Aspen packages? Yeah, just describe the cool stuff I can't see. I got a turtle.
What?
Oh, I like the cookies.
Well, let's see if there's any questions. Anybody have any questions?
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes.
Well, if you were to describe Aspen, the comics that produces, what would you say?
The question is, if we were to describe Aspen and our comics, what would we say about that?
How would you define yourself?
How would we define ourselves?
Ooh, we do a lot of action adventure, so I'd say we're very action adventure-y.
I'll turn a noun into an adjective. Vince?
Ooh, like I only one word.
You do all of our books. You have
Say it like one word type
No,
deal.
no,
Like
no.
a sentence.
5 minutes.
Yeah, you can use 20 minutes on us if you want.
What's the question?
Haiku. How would we describe it?
Define.
Oh, I would say we're innovative. That's the word I use.
It's a nice word.
It sounds cool.
Very big.
It's very contemporary. It seems like we're like doing stuff in the ball.
He's our editor-in-chief and the writer of one of our books, Action Adventure.
Head of the ball.
Thank you. David, you're a writer. Can you beat that?
Very extemporaneously speaking. I'd say it's Scottish and adventure. Eclectic.
We're an independent publishing company who focuses on action, adventure, and the fantasy genre for the most part. We don't really do a lot of superhero stuff, but we put out some of the coolest books you'll find in the industry. What not? Is it paper?
Yes, this is our company and what our books are.
It's always like in one word or like a
We are extremely well known. We are extremely
Yeah.
well known for finding and mining the best new talent you'll find out, which we use for as long as we can until Marvel DC steals them away. And all the people that worked at the founding of the company with Michael Turner have all gone on to have great success in other avenues, working in animation and other for the big.
Except for the ones of us who are still here.
I said artist. I'm not an artist. I'm a writer. We're just stuff. No, but and we're a small company, and we work harder than any of the other big guys out there. And it's kind of like, if we could work out of a van, we probably would. We almost kind of do. It's like a very small knit family. It's a family. Boutique. I don't know.
JT would drive the van. Because he's the only one who drives slow enough and steady enough that we'd be
To
able
get us there
get
alive and
work
on
done.
time. That's right.
I don't know about on time, but alive. We're definitely alive. Yeah, exactly what JT said. I mean, we're a small company. All right.
Hey, something's up.
Too late, you already did. Just go ahead.
I was going to ask you if you could tell us a little bit about your various new titles that are coming out in 2014.
No. Glad you interrupted. Frank, you want to take that?
I will. Can everybody see that?
Yeah.
Hold it up.
I have everything on here to show you guys.
What's
This is going to be the best panel ever. Everybody just huddle, Frank, don't you put it on there. Everybody just huddle around it, and then,
All right. And maybe just go to the new one.
Just go to the newest one. Let's focus on that.
best panel.
So as many of you know, this year was our 10th anniversary. We did a thing called the 10 to 10, which basically was 10 new titles all year long from February through this month, November. We released a brand new book for each month for $1. We started with a book called Legend Shadow Plan, which we talked about that David wrote. It was drawn by Corey Smith. Then we moved on with all these other books where we had Legend Shadow Plan, we ripped it off, and we announced Legend Shadow Plan Volume 2. We moved on to Shrug, which was Shrug Volume 2, which is a book that I created with Michael Turner. And basically, we're finishing that up now. We have 2 issues left of Shrug. That was our second 10 for 10 book that came out in March. Jonathan Marks was the artist on that book. That's Satella doing the colors on that book. I do have a 3rd volume planned, which will be somewhere down the road, but in the meantime, finishing up Shrug Volume 2. After Shrug was JT's new book, Journey, which Journey we got tons of great feedback on. Journey sold fantastic. Paolo Pennsylvania, one of the nicest dudes on the planet. Right? JT really likes him. Paolo did a great job on the book. He's in for Volume 2. We're doing Journey Volume 2. That will be next year at some point. And we also have some other cool Journey stuff on the way, which we haven't announced yet. That will probably be early next year. That will announce some cool additional Journey information besides Volume 2. to, but we're real excited to have Journey come back with volume 2.
We were just describing our
Wow, well, I'm stopping there.
All right, to go back to the question about Aspen and our company. We kind of also, we are independent in the sense that we do the books that we want to do. Yes, we have done action adventure stuff, and we don't do a lot of superhero stuff necessarily. But that doesn't preclude us from doing any of that in the future. We tell the stories we want to tell, the stuff that interests us as a group or as individuals, and so we just get to indulge that. This is our way on. So it's hard to say we have a genre. Action adventure and fantasy are very hard genres, but that's generally what we sort of fall into. Yes?
Yeah, just a little related question, especially for the writers. Are you seeing any larger trends in the comic book industries that you guys try to consciously avoid?
You mean like zombies? Undead time-traveling ponies?
No, undead time-traveling pony.
Sometimes it's cool to, I mean, look, there's obviously things that are really popular out there and that really kind of hit the mainstream and everybody just kind of gets really excited about. That's all cool because it brings people to conventions. It's not that you would avoid those just because they're popular. Sometimes you'll do things like, it's funny, I have two girls and there's a My Little Pony Doctor Who kind of variation, Doctor Who, very clever Doctor Who, get it? But it actually got her to want to watch an episode of Doctor Who, which how else would she even think to watch an episode of Doctor Who? So when you can kind of do stuff like that, there's nothing wrong with that, but there's not that sense that we're like, oh, well, you know, ponies are really, you know, big right now, so let's, you know, make a pony book.
Yeah, I don't think we go either way. We won't jump to jump on things like that. But I think we'll avoid someone had a really cool vampire story to tell. I mean, you know, look at it.
But we've also had things where we want to do something that's come out that's been unfortunately too similar. We're like, you know, we will avoid it in that respect. Or something like, even though we'd be totally within our rights if it's a different story, but if it hits a little too close to home or a little too close and there's a little too much similarity, we'll probably try to veer away from it because we just don't want. You don't want to be perceived that you're just like kind of trying to rip somebody else off or anything like that. But a lot of times it's just whatever the stories we come up with, we're trying to do. Any other questions while we're waiting for the setup? Sure, somebody's got a question out there. Anybody? Up here, please.
What was your inspiration for Trish Out of Water?
I just want to do something different. I had done at that point, Keanu, Executive Assassins, and so grew up in action adventure crime in there. So I wanted to do something different. I always liked the growing up days, and I like the kind of team books. So that there's a lot of just different ways you can go about telling a story. So that was kind of where I wanted to go with that. And then from there, after I had the full fun title, Trish Out of Water, I fleshed out the story and really worked on the characters. After that point, the story kind of wrote itself. But it was just coming from a place you wanted to write something different at that point. Knock knock.
So is there plans for Trish Out of Water to more directly interact with the Fathom title somewhere in the future?
Well, in the actual first story arc, towards issues 3, 4, and 5, you start to see a lot more of Fathom sprinkled in. And then I hope so. You know, it's not, I know it's not a title that, you know, instantly people, flock to see. It's not superheroes, it's not fantasy, so, limited market for that type of stuff. But I hope to do future arcs where, she appears in Naked Fathom or vice versa, something like that. I always plan for that, so I hope so.
Perfect.
That's a question. Is the Assassin's title your only ongoing title? And what was that conscious decision from the very beginning to just do volumes?
Assassin's title is currently our only ongoing title. And that was actually something that Vince spearheaded. He was looking to do an ongoing title. Most of our stuff is done in series and volumes because we like telling close-ended stories. Stuff that has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And then we pick up the next one. You can pick up 6 months or 2 days later. It's a different
I didn't hear your question, I'm sorry.
He said assassins are only on the story.
Oh, yeah.
Why do we do it volume?
Oh, you meant anything on that? No, I mean, he pretty much hit the nail on the head. It was something I wanted to do for a while, and that book seemed to serve as a perfect kind of launch pad for going on. You can give a story arc for different characters. So we tried it out, did it, and it's on 17, will be out in a couple weeks, so it's going good.
We also have Lori Hanson here, who's gone several issues.
Oh, is she?
Executive Assistant Assassin.
Yeah, that's good.
Because I don't know why. Now you have to ask a question though, because you're in the audience. Who's your favorite artist in Executive Assistant Assassin?
You.
Stop making that answers with pointing. You have to actually say stuff so everybody else can hear. There you go. That's a Vince answer. It's self-centered and yes, Ruben.
I have a question for Lori.
Yes.
Who are her art influences? Or who influenced your art?
She said Jim Lee ain't very cool for anybody else to hear that. Because she talks really quietly and not to the mic, but she's sitting back there. All right, our slideshow is ready, so I'm going to turn this over to Frank, and he'll run you through this year and a little bit of next year.
Well, as you guys probably briefly saw, like I started off saying, our 10-year anniversary, this is the final month of our big 10 for 10 initiative, which it's been a crazy year. This is our 24th convention this year. We've probably done another 10 to 15 different store signings alone. We've been everywhere, all over the place, really pushing forward our 10th anniversary. I've seen a ton of you guys at a lot of those different places, so I really appreciate you continually supporting us through everything we've been through and pushing forward into hopefully the next 10 years of us. Looking, like I said, through this stuff, the 10-year 10 for 10 stuff kicked off with Shadow Clan, then it went to Shrugged, then Journey, then after Journey, after Journey, what was after Journey?
We did 10 of them, and it was a long year.
That's right, it's a scary magic.
What? He's talking about the door is shut.
It's fine. There we go. It's fine. Okay, so it was Charismatic, which was Charismatic Volume 2. I know Vince does have Charismatic Volume 3 planned and in line, which will be somewhere down the road. Because 2014, like Matthias had asked earlier, we do have a few brand new properties coming up for next year, which I'll get to shortly, and a few returning properties as well, which we're really excited about. We're definitely scaling back 2014. I mean, this year seriously killed us. We had 10 books, one episode a month, tons of different stuff coming out. So it was a lot of work, though. These guys really busted their butts getting done. And so for next year, we'll be scaling back just a little bit. We'll still have a lot of big books out every single month, but we're also going to be concentrating on putting out more trades. That would be our biggest thing. We actually are planning right now, and have been over the last month, a huge initiative for next year, which hopefully will be something like Year of the Trade. So that way we could have a couple trades out every single month and really get caught back up a lot of our trade paperbacks, because as of right now we have 30 plus different properties and different books that could be collected into a trade paperback at this exact moment. So we're really excited because we want all of those out as soon as we can get them out. So we're working on the schedule, getting them all paced out, getting everything put together. It's going to be a lot of work, but it's something that we're looking forward to because, like I said, we want you guys to be able to get caught back up on all of our series if you haven't been able to check them out before. So Charismatic ended with issue 6 on this volume. This is the final issue, which came out a few months back. After Charismatic, it was Mark's new book, which was Bubblegum. Bubblegum. Issue number 4 is on the way next week. Issue 5 is the final issue, which is getting finished up now. Mark's had a ton of fun working on this book. Every time he turned in scripts, they were always crazy and wacky and like a whole lot of fun. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying Bubblegum. We introduced a whole bunch of new characters to the Aspen universe, and I know a lot of people have really liked a bunch of them. We got a lot of really good feedback, and Molly has become a really popular character. Hopefully we'll be able to do some cosplay with that in the future or something like that. I know we're talking to a few people about it, so that'd be cool. Earlier this summer, we did For the Fathom's 15th anniversary, we did this series called the Elite Saga, which basically was David and JT and Vince, myself and everybody at work getting together, culminating 15 years of Fathom's history, all into this weekly event that started in June, finished up in July when we released the brand new, all new Fathom #1, which was a book that David, myself, Alex, Beth, everybody worked really, really hard on, and I think it turned out amazing. It was definitely our biggest selling book of the year for the 10 for 10. We did over 60,000 copies on just that book alone, so we were really excited because it was great seeing Fathom back up in the top comic rankings. We were really proud to see that there 15 years later. I know Mike would have loved that. We've been working on Fathom, nonstop. Issue 4 is on the way in 2 weeks. Issue 5 is getting finished up right now. This is the first time, honestly, that Fathom's been on the same pace that it's been, which has been really great because for some reason or another, Fathom's been the one book over the past 15 years that, whether it was Mike's health or different people that were working on it, we could just never keep the schedule consistent. And now for the first time we are, so I'm really happy about that. Overtaken Follow Fathom. This is my book, which I'm super, super late on. It's totally my fault, but it will be getting done. Overtaken #1 is completely out. Issue 2 is coming. I will be finishing this up. I'm really excited because I have a really cool story I think that you guys will enjoy. So be on the lookout for issue 2, hopefully within about a month or 2, and then follow from there. Executive Assistant Iris, David was working on Fathom, so we brought in one of our close friends, Brian Bucciolato, to take over the scripting for this. He works on The Flash with Francis Manifold. That's why those guys did this guy right here. Iris is on issue number 3 right now. We sort of brought it back to basics because with Assassins and the Hitless Agenda and all these different things we did, we introduced so many new executive assistants that we thought focusing a lot more back on Iris was the trick, and that's what we've been doing on that, so it's a lot more grounded with her. Trish Out of Water, Vince's new book, which has been coming out great. As Vince was saying earlier, it really pertains to the Fathom universe. You can see Aspen and all them in the book. It definitely revolves a lot around what's going on in that world. Issue 3 is done and on the way in, 2 weeks?
What? Yeah, we actually just put it to print.
Yeah,
last night, so
yeah, so we're really excited about that getting done. And then the final book, Michael Turner's All New Soulfire. We thought it was just perfect to bookend our 10-year anniversary with Mike's Soulfire series. This has been a book that JT's been working on since pretty much the very beginning. Jeff Loeb did the first 1 or 2 issues, but JT's been on board the entire run. I'm really proud of the way that we've steered the series. I know Mike probably really would have been proud and really liked it. The all-new volume really focuses back on the core group, gets us back on track with Mal and Grace and all the characters. This is the cover to issue number 2 that J. Scott Campbell just turned in, that we have a print of at the booth, but you guys should be looking for this when it comes out in a couple weeks. Joe B did a cover as well, which we have a print of down at the booth. These are some of the future covers coming up. So this will be running into next year, which will be one of the few 10 for 10 books that continues in 2014. Obviously, this is the last one. This is issue number 5 cover, which just got turned in a day ago. There you go.
Yeah, I forgot to say that to JT.
Yeah, so far we'll be continuing into 2014 as we go through the story. Executive Assistant Assassins, also as Vince was saying earlier, are one of our ongoing series. This issue 16, 17, 18 is a complete story by Jordan Gunnarsson, who started off the Assassin's book, he's doing the whole thing, and introduces another new assassin. Vince is having a great time introducing all these new characters, and we were teasing the other day because he likes to kill everybody. He basically murders everybody in all of his books. So if you like murder and death, pick up Vince's books. Yeah, that's how Vince described his books, not a murderer. This book we announced earlier this year. This is called Lola by Sia Boom, a brand new property that she brought to us that we're really excited about publishing. This will be out probably the end of first quarter next year, or early second quarter, right around March or April. She just sent in the scripts for issue 1 and 2 that me and Vince are going over right now. She's almost done with issue number 1 with all the art. Really excited to get this out. It's going to be amazing. Sia, if any of you guys or gals are familiar with her work, she's just doing an incredible job on it. So we're really excited to have this under the Aspen universe. This is another new property, Waking Skies, which we announced earlier. At the rate I'm going, this will probably be around like 2020. Yeah, exactly. See? Right in the theaters when it comes out. So I'm really excited to do Awakened Skies. I bet this will come first. This is another new book that we introduced, Damsels in Distress. Or Excess. But this is sort of Vince's take on the fairy tale stories, but it's not really a fairy tale. A lot of people, when they saw this for the very first time, were like, "Oh, another fairy tale book," but it's very different. I think you guys will really like this book a lot. Mirka Adolfo is doing the artwork. Here's a lot of her designs for a lot of the characters. This will be a really big book for us next year. We're working on this nonstop right now and have this planned out for right around summertime. So I'm really excited about getting this book to you guys. Well, that's Vince is a closet brony because that way up.
I'm not a closet, just brony.
Don't spread that out.
Father Kiani, another book that will be returning next year after this Father run. Really excited to have Kiani back. As I was saying earlier, many of these projects are ones that we're done with or might be coming back sometime in the future, but a lot of these will finally be getting trade paperbacks and everything, so really excited to see all of these in collected editions, get them back out there. We're starting going through everything now to figure out what extra content we can put in, what other cool covers, cool things we can add into all these trades to make them worth it for everybody to want to pick them up. And then, as Darren so eloquently put it, with Zoo Hunters, Peter's book that he's been working on for a while, but I know, in fact, I just saw some new art on the scanner the other day, so I know Peter's been working on Zoo Hunters, so hopefully this will be out probably around August, September of next year is the game plan for Zoo Hunters. So really excited about that. Lost Spark, our very first novel that we put out earlier this year. JT has a sequel for it. We have a few other novels that we announced earlier this, or probably in October about when we announced. We'll have some more novels coming out next year. Hopefully something that we can start building. I'm working with some new distributors, trying to get them into bookstores, a whole bunch of different places. So looking forward to really building our Aspen novels. So look for more of those coming up next year as well. Obviously all our stuff is available through digital. We have omnibuses now, pretty much all our different books from Fathom, Soulfire, Executive Assistant that you can pick up. In fact, there's going to be something really cool on ComicCology the first week of December. I can't announce it just yet because they'll be talking about it soon, but make sure if you guys pick up digital books, you check out ComicCology the first week of December because there'll be some cool Aspen stuff up there. This, Peter just put together a couple days ago. This is our holiday print for 2013. That'll be available on the Aspen store. This year, more so than any year, Chris Rupert runs our Aspen store. He's a crazy little man. And he has so many ideas for the store, and we have to kill some of them, but man, there's going to be a whole bunch of brand new Fathom 15th anniversary prints every week. There's going to be a whole bunch of brand new Soulfire anniversary 10-year prints every week. We have this holiday print. We have prints for Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Boxing Day, Cyber Monday, Christmas, New Year's. I mean, it's nuts. It's nuts. But we're getting it all done. Everything looks really, really cool. We have a lot of great stuff coming up. You want to check the Aspen store pretty much daily because there's going to be a whole bunch of new stuff up. This is the exclusive cover that we made for Long Beach here. If you guys bought, I think, the whole weekend VIP pass, you already got this, but if not, you got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle program. But I think if you ask for one of these, you will give you one, or I don't know how you get them, but they have them up there. And then obviously we have free buttons at our booth, so please stop by if you don't have one of these. We're proud. And that's it. I tried to hustle.
So before we get back to any questions, Vince, you want to talk about Downs and Excess a little bit?
Yeah, I think Frank made a good point because that's exactly what the series is. It looks like a fairy tale story, but it's not. This is kind of my Sex and the City.
Is it action adventure?
No, no.
Is it murdery?
Yeah, a lot of people die.
Like you said, it was like Sex and the City.
Yeah, it's like Sex and the City.
Sex and the City, a lot of people died.
I died when I watched that show.
So wait, Sex and the City means My Little Pony.
There's a unicorn in there, but I've never read or seen My Little Pony.
It's a horny mother.
I don't know what it's actually like.
Mitch doesn't know what his book is about.
I really don't know what they do in that My Little Pony story. Like, what do? They just kind of hang out?
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, friendship is magic. So.
Don't pretend like you know.
I know way
You actually have an excuse
way
for
too
knowing
much.
what's going on.
I know way too much about My Little Pony, so it's pretty scary.
You got 2 girls.
It's okay, I do.
Yeah, it's all right for you.
That's why I had them, because before I had them, it was weird, but now they got it.
He has no excuse. He signed up on all the fan sites, but it's secret. All right, well then, on that explanation, very odd.
It's going to be riveting. Bye.
There we go. It's going to be riveting. Riveting me? Riveting me. Let's turn the floor over to any more questions. Yes, you have one in the back?